media is amplifying the divide between black men and black women. Pages like Justin LA Boy, pages like Spiritual World, who take the most toxic messages from Twitter and all other platforms.
Don't get mad at me, I'm here telling the truth. If somebody else should have told you this.
Put them in one space that are purposely perpetuating narratives that we really aren't interacting with in the real world. You go on a day, you're not having these conversations, but you go on social media and these conversations are constantly repeated, and none of it is solution focused. It's all what they do, what's not being done, and it's not productive. It's not pushing us forward, and what's happening is we are internalizing a lot of trauma that does not belong to us.
Say it again.
So we are internalizing a lot of relationship trauma that does not belong to us. So let's say for me personally, right, I've never been cheated on. But let's say I go and I follow a bunch of women who talk about the fact that, oh, I've been cheated on, all these niggas cheat, they steady cheating. I'm going to sit there and be like, oh yeah, they all cheat. That's all they do. And I'm not self-aware enough to really understand that that's not even my shit. That's not my baggage. That's somebody else's baggage. So one thing we really have to do is learn how to detach from some of these messages that we are constantly internalizing.
Even though we wasn't talking for that long, I just felt like she was doing me dirty. Like, I felt like she couldn't be trusted. Couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. Yo, can you shut up? You say this every time. Like,
Don't get mad at me, I'm here telling the truth.
Y'all be saying all these type stories and stuff. I'm just saying, it, not me. I'm saying my girl not like that. She different. All right. Where even is your girl right now? She out at the mall with her friends. Okay, when's the last time you talked to her? Nah, I just talked to her like an hour ago. But she had texted me and she told me her phone was about to die.
You big cold-blooded dummy.
So like, it's all good. Now, why would I like
No,
this?
you fell for that.
I'm telling you, look, it goes straight to voicemail. Her phone is dead, bro. She told the truth.
No, it ain't no way you fell for that.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic
See?
voice
Look.
system.
No, bro.
You salty as hell, bro.
No, get out of here. That don't mean nothing. That don't mean nothing, bro.
Look at you. Now you got nothing to say.
I'm telling you, that don't mean nothing.
Now you got nothing to
Bro,
say.
can you stop, bro? Can you stop calling?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
It have beats too.
I'm gonna fuck with it though, cause I fuck with him. Like,
and
pause.
And the beats were like super long. It's like some tracks were like 13 minutes, some tracks were like 11 minutes. You know what I mean? There was a 15-minute track up there. So you know what I mean? Yeah, 3 stacks.
Did you edit that other video? That last video was terrible. Too much stuff. Did you cut that out?
I don't even know.
Wait, which one?
I hope so.
Which one?
The last video that we did.
What's the last
We
video
did
we did? I'll be happy.
Last week.
I don't know. I did some little camera tricks. I learned how to
That was
do
the veteran? No,
animation and
I'm
shit.
talking about the same, not the camera.
I don't even really know.
Yeah, because that was like a 3-4 hour conversation, right?
Nah, it was only 2 hours.
It was only 2 hours?
All of that. Because you said that too. You kept saying that. You're saying too much stuff that should not be posted on YouTube.
I might take it down because I don't think I edited it.
Yeah,
Or I might put it on Patreon or some shit.
No, just take it down. Or if you're not gonna take those parts out.
I'm curious.
We'll see at 8.
And that's when it dropped? Oh yeah, it dropped on 8. Okay.
But yo, to another episode of Get Lifted. 30 is the new 20. It's your boy Smiley Jizzle and my man's
So B
and our co-host
Erika, aka FY.
And we in the building. We here.
We on the move like I need a new hobby. Got a 9 to 5.
Let's get it. So, we got a lot to discuss. You know what I mean? Like, today, a lot of things. Well, it's a lot of shit that's going on media-wise, but personally, I'm noticing a lot of different opportunities coming in my way, and it's just from being patient and staying the course. Sometimes I made a track. I don't know if we dropped it, but sometimes good things come to those who wait. You know what I mean? And I really believe that. like sometimes you gotta be patient and shit gonna happen, but you still gotta stay the course. So patient don't mean stop everything that you're doing and just wait. Patience mean if you keep on doing it the right way, then something good might happen. You know what I mean? You bound to stumble upon something good, especially if you know what you're doing. You know what I mean? So shout out to just everybody that's just staying the course. Like, don't give up. Like, you know what I mean? It'll happen.
Respect.
And about who we was just talking about.
Okay.
Diddy.
Diddy.
I don't know, man. Where do we begin? Where do we go with? Because I don't know a lot, so I don't want to say nothing out of turn.
Well, allegedly, Cassie has made some. Well, not allegedly. Cassie has made some allegations that that Diddy has been abusive in their relationship when they were together. She's in a new relationship. She's married, isn't she?
Yeah.
I'm not saying it like that. I'm just saying, yeah. But
well, okay.
And then the next day, I guess she took a payment, which doesn't necessarily mean that, because I would want money for my pain and suffering, and I want you to go to jail if you did that to me. I want to kill you if you did that to me, actually.
Unalive.
Or you might as well unalive me, because I don't think I could deal with that.
She might be doing that because
she said he essayed her too.
Yeah, and I believe it. I believe it only because I don't think that she would lie about that just for money. And I've seen enough interviews from people that said that she did look a little spaced out, or she did look like she needed help, and nobody helped her. Nobody, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so,
and they said his team knew about the abuse. They were there.
Yeah, the team, they gonna know to get paid.
R. Kelly. But now you singing like a bird. You want to be in the documentary now, cause your ass about to go down too. Exactly. So now you talking.
You know how that go.
So you don't even really give a fuck about the victims. You just don't want your ass to go to jail. I'm sorry for the language, but
I just feel like everything that is in the dark is gonna come to light, and I feel like Bad Boy has been in the business for a long time, and they had a lot of shade thrown their way. And I feel like if they were completely innocent, the shade wouldn't stick. But because they weren't completely innocent, or Diddy isn't completely innocent, that's just stuck to his ass. And this is the result of that. And look at the timing, like with the Keefe D situation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that Asian lady, his ex just came. I don't know if that's the lady he just had a baby by recently.
Crazy, yeah.
She said that he was abusive to her too.
See?
After that. And Carisha said she spoke with Cassie, and she said she would testify.
And that means she knows. She's seen and witnessed things that she was like,
she wasn't even famous when Cassie, but I don't know how they got in contact or why she spoke with her.
Because she felt a way prior to dating Diddy. She must have. If I'm the ex of somebody that dated somebody else, I'm not hitting them. Unless it's important, unless it's like, yo, hey, we could share information, or we could, you know what I mean? Like, help each other, because like I've been done similar. That's the only reason why she would reach out, unless she's, trying to plot on him or some type of secret spy for Diddy. I don't know what the hell the situation is, but
she probably is testifying to the conversation she had with her, because she don't. And then, because I seen the clip, and she was like, because I guess people assumed that because she was agreeing to testify that she was abused too, and she was like, I didn't say you hit me. I said I felt bad for her, and I would testify for her. Why would I be with somebody that was beating her ass? So she ghetto, so she was being all ratchet. Yeah. But
I think Diddy's learned over the years.
But Carisha different than Cassie.
Yeah,
That's a different type of woman.
And I feel like
she probably wouldn't tolerate.
Yeah, of course. But he knows that though. Like Diddy knows who to play that type of shit with. And if y'all remember, like I want to see what J-Lo says. Because J-Lo was dating him before Cassie.
She's not gonna say nothing.
She's not gonna say nothing, but she knows something.
And she was they got in trouble or whatever.
Exactly.
She was with him, then somebody got shot in the club or something.
Yeah,
and
Shine.
Her career.
See?
That was after. That was when she was like, yo,
see? Yeah, she wasn't riding with him.
Because
she
now, because you
was like,
were
affiliated
with him, now you're getting backlash and stuff where they thought you were involved with whatever.
Straight like that. She saw something that made him like, yeah, I ain't standing for this. You know what I'm saying?
Then with this girl, that was a good movie. Shout out to J-Lo.
Yeah, shout out to J-Lo.
See?
She made good movies, just the music.
But he don't like stuff like that. And sometimes you gotta, because that will be a movie that will be on Lifetime.
Yo,
and he be fucking junk. But that's...
We watched that movie. You know why I first watched that movie?
Lifetime.
I was on a fucking bus on the way to go to a camping trip. Well, not a camping trip. We had to do training outside in the woods. So I was with the Army, and we was watching Enough on a charter bus.
Oh yeah, I know.
How fucking wild is that? A whole bunch of men watching Enough.
Yeah, ready though. That was a good enough movie for a whole bunch of men to watch.
Yo, that shit was crazy. Niggas was into that shit like a motherfucker. Like that was definitely a good ass flick.
But when she makes movies like that, like when she's the desperate mother, or you know what I'm saying, she's the best.
Mother was good.
Mother was good too.
I remember.
Mother was real good. Like you know what I'm saying.
They made a few renditions of that movie too. They had other movies similar to that.
The Cell was good too. Remember The Cell?
The Cell, The Cell was good. That was a good one. J-Lo got a few movies, yo. Selena was good.
Yeah.
Shout out to
deserved
J-Lo, bro.
Selena, yo. I thought that was, when I was young, I thought that was Selena. I didn't know she was an actor playing.
Like Selena was
nigga, I didn't know. Yeah, nah, nigga, I know. I went back and did my research. She was bad.
She was
bad. She would have been a problem about here.
Mexican American.
That's what I'm saying. She would have been a problem out here, bro.
R.I.P. Selena Quintanilla Perez. Is that her last
name? Yeah, man. Manager killed her out of hate.
Yeah, that's bad.
It wasn't her manager. She was the head of her fan club, and she was like twice her age or something.
Yeah,
so it was like
hater, bro.
Crazy, yo.
But she was the head of her fan club. She was weak. She had like an obsession with her. That's what it was.
But she had access to her.
Like that was like a lifetime.
She had access to her. Like that's crazy. Like I love my fans, but if you're a fanatic, you're not being around me.
Yeah, some people be
not being around me.
I don't think she was showing that behavior, or they didn't pay attention to it. But then something. But I think she was like obsessed because it's like you don't. I don't know. Well, she was Spanish, but it's like I feel like there's different genres. Most people her age probably her music is not. I guess anybody can listen to it. It's for all ages.
That's probably sexual though. She probably wanted to sleep with her, and then she got mad because remember she just got married, and she probably was like, "Bitch, you ain't getting married." Like, yo, I'm telling you,
something happened, and then she. Or they started to notice how weird she was. So I think they fired her or they didn't want to work with her anymore, and then she couldn't handle it. Because the story was like the way they framed it was like she was a crazy, obsessed.
Did she die? Is she in jail?
She did get arrested, but I don't know what happened.
Yeah, that's sad as hell. Shout out. Late at night when all the world sleeping, I stay thinking.
Going back to Janet Jackson, see you singing some damn Janet Jackson.
This is shit. Selena, fool. That's so.
But then Janet Jackson remake that.
I don't think so.
But I'm dreaming
of you tonight. Yo, look at that shit. I'll be holding you tight, and there's no one in the world I'd rather be. Yo, she killed this. I was crying like a little bitch, like I do her shit. I didn't even know.
Her name was Yolanda Saldivar.
Name of a snake.
And she is 63. She's seeking parole as of August.
She's just 63? I thought she was 63 then.
No, because she was young.
Yeah, she was.
So, but she was at least twice her, like old enough to be her parent.
She's like 40. Yeah.
Yeah. And it says she tried to go for parole in August, so she was still, and then September say something.
They denied that shit. They was like, nigga, you killed Selena.
Because she had life.
I think the Mexican
but
community.
sometimes when you have life, you could get out. Like, it's not a natural life. Like you're not. She had the possibility of parole after 10 years of good behavior, and I'm sure it's been more than that. So she meets the criteria. That was in September, but it doesn't say if she requested it to see her. So I don't know.
She probably still in jail. And she gonna have to go under protection, but they gonna get her ass. Too many people love Selena. Sam, they got a little black boy that didn't even know who she was crying about
60 grand from her.
Sheesh. Oh, so she was a thief and a fanatic. Yeah. She crying me out.
She said she didn't mean to kill her. She meant to kill herself.
Bullshit.
And she had a possibility of parole after 30 life.
She could have killed herself.
She meant to kill herself?
She could have killed herself.
She said it was an accident.
She could have killed herself right after she killed Selena. She knew what she was doing.
Yo.
And they sending out letters to the family because they can't deny her for a chance. But that don't mean they're gonna agree. But they're letting the family know they can have the decision if they want. Doesn't mean they'll accept it though. But if they want to support or oppose it.
You know they're gonna oppose that shit. But nah, you never know, cause some people.
Sometimes people be forgiving.
Like,
Cause she obviously
I saw some shit.
I'm looking at that shit now, nigga.
Fucking
she looked depressed.
Mia Khalifa, the corn star.
The corn star
made a little clip because she got a little podcast now. So she made a clip where she was saying
she competing with us now. Yeah,
men are
why
cheap.
Why gotta be a little podcast?
I mean, I'm bigger than ours.
Cause I don't think when people say little, I feel like cause she's a corn star.
I mean,
not that I agree with that lifestyle, cause I wouldn't do that. Because I don't want.
I mean, the context behind the adjective is like, oh, now you doing this, like, you know what I mean? That's really why, but. I mean, it is what it is. Like, yeah, it's kind of sending tone to it.
I don't like when people.
I mean, you don't have to date her or be willing to date her, but she can change her life and evolve.
If she does good, she does good. You know what
I mean? But
I don't like when somebody already
has
something on them, right?
Even though it's already done the damage, at least she recognized that and she's going into other endeavors and not still doing.
But I don't like her relationship advice. Like, it's not the person, it's the message. Like. The message that she putting out is detrimental, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she probably did whatever she did. She could change, but she's saying shit like men are cheap and easy. Like, we could extrapolate on that from a man's perspective, but let's just listen to what she said.
It's PR. It's PR.
Subjective. Because a man or a woman could be easy.
I think it's
most men are, most men are not gonna turn a woman down if you're trying to. That's not
I've
a
never
lot.
wanted a man
it might
not
not
be.
It may not be what you want to hear, but most men have said this themselves. You know, most men are not turning down no pussy if you just throwing it, especially if you look good or whatever. Like. But yes, does it happen? Yes. But on is it the majority? No. If a chick walk up to most men and she's attractive, she don't even have to be attractive, depending on the guy.
How much do you value your sex? Because what
I
you're
didn't
saying,
say that I would do it. I'm speaking from a general standpoint.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. But even on that general standpoint, we're not talking about keeping the man. We're talking about wanting the man. There is no value in a man that wants you.
But she ain't talk about that. What she's
talking about. She says men are easy because they want her. But what I'm saying is there is no value in a man that wants you.
Said easy. She talking about, that's what I get. She talking about sex.
But sex
she's
is
not talking
easy.
About relationships. So
what I'm saying,
did you hear the whole thing? Listen to what she's saying. Listen.
If you are wondering how you and another woman got the same man, it is because men are the easiest thing in the entire world. I have never wanted a man and not got him. Do you have any idea how many men have wanted?
She's never been married.
But she's not specifying that. I think she's just talking about sex.
She is. She said wanted. What are you? If you're talking about sex, then what is the value of sex?
But that she's a porn star, so why is that even? We already know how she feels clearly. So I don't even know why that's a question. She's not talking about it from a relationship standpoint. Yes, you should want. But in her case, she was a porn star, so obviously that's not valuable to her.
What I'm saying in general. I'm talking in generalities. Women that say that men are easy, not just her, just women that think that
easy
men,
to have sex.
I say that. But what I'm saying is,
for men and women.
You're right.
There are some women.
You're right. But what I'm saying is, if that person is thinking that as something to be credited for, it's not. Sex isn't that important to men. So if you're saying, hey, a lot of guys want me, that's no big deal. What would be a big deal if she says a lot of guys want to marry me and I got to turn them down? Okay, now these niggas is really going to spend bread on you. These niggas know your reputation and don't care about that shit. That's a big deal because I don't feel like the majority of men would do that. But what she's saying doesn't make sense because she's saying that, oh yeah, because men want her, it's easy, they're easy. Like, okay, but do something to challenge yourself. If men are easy, then get something that's challenging. You're not married, so get married. Get married with that reputation.
Married. So she was married and now she's divorced.
To that point,
exactly.
I agree with what you're saying, and that was the goal for her. But I don't think she's worried about having a regular relationship. And also how it started, this is to women, I think she's saying, because some women do that. They'll be like, oh, they talk shit about like if they feel like the next woman or whatever is not the priority. You see the guys that do dealt with before you and you feel like you above them, and then somebody comment on it. I think that's what she was saying, speaking to those women that be like, oh, how he was messing with her, and that's what she's saying. Men are easy; they'll fuck anybody. So
I agree that that's subjective, but I'm just saying that there's no value in what she's saying.
Yeah, I agree, but I don't think she's saying that. You're making it further than I don't think she's thinking about it in that sense, like valuable or whatever. She's just saying they're easy to fuck, like, and most men, they're not going to turn down the pussy.
Isn't that obvious,
I don't think
though?
she wants a commitment.
But, like, you have to not want things that you can't obtain and you can't maintain. Because, like, if I wanted something that I knew I wasn't going to get, then it would drive me crazy. So I know she can't want that because she's never going to get it. Or maintain it, she can get it. But she's never going to maintain it because of who she is. And it'll never last because that's always going to be the factor that's going to divide whatever relationship she tries to be in.
A husband wants a wife.
Yeah. So now she has to say things like, oh, okay, men are easy. That's an ego thing. That's to boost up her ego. She's not saying that shit as...
To me, I think she's responding to women making comments like that because I hear women say things like that, like, "Oh, why
I can't find a man" or something.
No, like comparing, like, "Oh, you was fucking with her," like why we're saying shit like that or whatever. Because in the beginning she said, if you're wondering why, your dude was fucking or why a dude's fucking with someone, and That's what something like that in the beginning. Like she said, basically saying they will fuck anyone. Don't feel special or whatever. Like, oh, just because you think you somebody's special.
But I guess
but
what's triggering, I guess what's triggering to men
that is
is saying that
down.
he's easy. Like it's
Yeah,
like a shaming tactic.
Yeah,
but
I
really,
get it. But
it is selective, kind of. Like you do want the woman that's beautiful. You do want the woman that takes care of herself. You do want the woman that's probably spiritual, if you're spiritual. You do want the woman that
don't have that many bodies.
Don't got that many bodies and shit like that. So a porn star wouldn't be a first selection for a lot of dudes.
Especially that.
Even though, yeah, you might fantasize about her and be infatuated about her, but it's really just a notch on the belt.
Because of her thing, people probably said stuff about her because like,
hurt people. I get that.
Right.
But don't try to validate.
Easy, but so are you.
Yeah, exactly. Don't try to. Yeah.
You're not.
And even if
you might have turned down a few, but you still
hold on, bro.
A few get it.
Even if she thinks that she is harder to get than the men that she could get. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
My thing is like, there's no value in that though.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? There's no value in that. Like, I guess you could trick these niggas, but you're not tricking nobody that's ever gonna maintain you or you're gonna want to maintain you anyway.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yo, like I don't know, man. Motherfuckers just be stuck on the hamster wheel and don't see,
right?
You know what I mean? Like they're on the hamster wheel and be like, "Well, I could do this all day." Like that's what that sounds like to me. I could do this all day. Like this shit is easy.
That's really how.
You're on a hamster wheel. Get off that shit. You don't have to do that shit. You'll never get to the water. Like
for the money. Crazy. Life is.
God bless me and Khalifa, because I know she had to do or go through a lot against her home country.
She had to go to that black couch. That black couch.
Yo, the audition couch. You don't know about that? Yeah.
Oh, for the corn.
Yep.
Corn.
The corn.
Yeah.
The corn starch.
Shout out to the audition couch.
That's crazy.
Yo, I seen another little video.
I'm calling out all the parents. If you're a parent, your child is in pre-K to elementary school to high school, I'm calling you
I
out.
want to say it was
The children today, I have never experienced, and I'm 22.
You're crying.
Having to teach and work with you guys as children has been the most traumatic experience of my life. I teach 5-year-olds
that
ballet.
she's so passionate about it though.
Because she really cares. Yeah, she really cares. I respect that.
There's always few, but a lot of them be there just to get a check.
She is beautiful too.
You ask them, can you stand in your designated spot? They're telling you no and shut up. They're throwing things.
See, that's the first thing you notice. She talking about the damn kids. You just think
she
is beautiful.
That's the first thing I seen. First thing I seen. First thing I've seen. But what's the value in that, E? So what?
Yeah, the value is what she's talking about in the video. You worried about what she looks like.
It's the punchline that matters, E. You have to be hooked in some way. The punchline is her looking so beautiful. That's what got me in. If she was ugly, I'd say, fuck them kids. That's what I'm saying. But
she talk about kids being wrong and overly sexualized.
It's parenting. It's parenting though. Like I'm grown, so if we're talking about our kids, I'm not gonna teach my kids to be over sexualized. I'm gonna teach my kids how to conduct themselves in, you know what I mean, in the real world. Like the real world.
And you guys' brain as a parent says, my kid not following any direction is a great thing. It's not that serious, and y'all don't have the right to tell her what to do.
Okay, let's go. Yeah, look, Mom, this is my first time watching.
And another thing that's heart-wrenching is
you gonna listen?
I already watched it, but he didn't hear. I want him.
Your 5-year-old daughter.
All right, I'll start it over. But y'all gotta listen to what she's saying.
I mean, I'm hearing it.
You ain't hearing from the jump.
Your child is in pre-K to elementary school to high school. I'm calling you out. The children today, I have never experienced, and I'm 22. Having to teach and work with
most traumatic experience of my life. I teach 5-year-olds ballet. 5-year-old girls ballet. I have a class of 10 students. They don't respect any authority. You ask them, can you stand in your designated spot? They're telling you no and shut up.
That's because their dad's not in
They're
the fucking
throwing
picture.
things at each
No,
other.
and shut
Yes.
up, but they throwing things.
It's because their dad is not in the picture.
You say, can everybody sit in their spot? I don't want
Ain't
to. I'm
no
not
way.
doing that. You don't get to tell me what to do. You're not my mom. You confront
And
the
mom,
parent.
they ain't say that.
The parent tries to argue with you.
I mean, she a lady.
It don't matter. Like, they gonna say whoever they respect.
Redirect their kid. I told a young little girl, please sit in your spot. You're not my mom. You don't tell me what to do. Okay.
Mothers be teaching
When
that
her mom
shit
came
too.
to pick her up, I said, hey,
Don't let no stranger tell you what to
your
do.
daughter's having a hard time following instructions. And 7 times today I've had to redirect her to just sit in her spot. Well, clearly she didn't want to sit, and mind you, this is a mom. Clearly she didn't want to sit right there. So, I mean, if she telling you she don't want to do something, why keep asking her to do it? You know she's not going to do it.
Wow.
What?
And y'all keep on knocking them up. Good job.
You
Wow.
gotta be free. As a parent says,
Like Mia said though, men are easy. If y'all know we easy, y'all gotta take accountability for who y'all are and how y'all raising the kids, because y'all raising the kids. Y'all are in charge. Females are in charge of the kids. Men are not in charge. Well, you're not because you don't have kids. But I'm talking about these females. Come on, like, because their mother is listening to Pound Town. I told you, they desensitized, yo. They don't care about that shit.
And they are asking me, can we hear
And Ice Spice. Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And I'm so scared for these little girls.
Get married and love your husband and have a loving family and homeschool your kid, because that's the only thing you can do. Like,
We do freeze dance. You guys' daughters are twerking at 5. 5. Where's the parenting? Where's the boundaries? Where's the help? Y'all are not helping your kids. You're hurting them. You guys are hurting them. I come every day dressed, ready to go, and I'm in school too. I'm in college. I mean, I put bows in my hair. I'm wearing leotards. I'm trying to get them interested in like proper things for their age, and you guys are
Smiley
exposing your
about to
kids to
DM
this.
her. Smiley like a lady about to DM her, yo. Fuck the kid. I got you, baby.
And it's just really, really, really,
Yo.
it's upsetting. I'm calling out all the parents. If you're
All
a
right.
parent, you're
I just wanted to hear the whole thing. All right. So first off, the elephant in the room. Obviously, this girl is extremely attractive. That's it. What her message is, though, with what she's saying, is crazy.
It's true.
And at 22 years old to be that passionate about that, she's afraid for her life to have kids, probably. You know what I mean? Because of the experience that she has with helping with other people's children and the way that the parents respond to her. Now, I had a similar situation on Clubhouse where I was talking to a guy that is in charge of like juvenile detention in Florida. And there was another woman that lives in Virginia, I believe, and she did social work and she dealt with the parents. So he's dealing with these troubled young men, and he knows the burden that it is on the moms, but she's dealing with the moms and the way like she notices that the kid's not going to school or the kid's not doing that, and she's talking to the parent to say, hey, can you be more? I mean, I can't do nothing for your kid. Like, you're the parental guardian, so you got to step it up. So it's like, what are you to do when you're a single mom? And she's like coming over there, she cursing at him, and she's saying, you shouldn't be talking to the kids like this. And then the guy is saying, well, these kids, she don't know what to do. This is her only approach to try to control this kid is by talking to him like that. and she don't want him to be in the streets, but she just giving her hands up, so she throwing to him. So she throwing to them.
Be saved. They don't want to
So
be saved.
when I'm listening to what she's saying, at that small, to see where they're headed is crazy. Cause I'm talking about kids that's already teenagers, like they about to go to prison. She talking about little kids that's like 5 years old. Like that's crazy.
But we can't take a blind eye like this shit's happening all over the world. Like, are we gonna feel that same sentiment for the child rebel soldiers in Africa? Are we gonna feel the same sentiment for the little kids that's growing up in Chirac that don't know no better and that probably have a life expectancy of 20 maybe? Like, bro, like this shit is happening in real time all over the world. It's just
and that's
it's just
why
the
I'm saying
compassion.
people need to stop having
More
some people
compassion.
don't need to have kids. First of all, just some people are just not fit to be parents, I think, and some people need to pick better who they decide.
Yeah,
because this is why these kids are acting this way. Because if your mom's the teacher's telling you you're in dance school, the teacher's telling you to sit down, she's in charge of you while you're in her care. So if she tells you to do something, you should follow what she does. That's ridiculous that the mom would cuss at her and say, oh, she don't want to effing sit there, then she doesn't have to.
It's not ridiculous if she's a child raising a child. It makes perfect sense because that's the mentality of children.
But
we don't know how old the kids
what I witnessed is that this girl. But that's how I realized that
women are ratchet too.
No, they are. But look,
think of how
this
long
young
that
person
has been ratchet.
But
You're
this young
be
girl is
for the
seeing
rest
that
of your life.
and dealing with
Some
that.
people don't change.
And she's dealing with that,
when
and she
you
sees it, and she's like,
begin
damn,
to
how you
realize
not
that
gonna like
you
try to correct this behavior?
People call you bougie if you decide to evolve and speak better and use proper English and sound like you got some sense and don't be ready to pop off every time. Then it's like, oh, you're acting bougie. Like, I'm just.
If you really want to make a change, I don't think it's possible to do it here. I think you gotta leave. You gotta get your bread up and you gotta leave. And then once you leave, you can have a foundation around people that care and people who respect you, and you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it's not gonna happen here. Like there is a system that is in place, and if you're against that system, you will go missing. Things will happen to you, or things will happen to people around you. So you know what I'm saying? Like get down and lay down. Like get down and lay down, yo. It's America.
Yo, it'd be crazy with these kids because it's like,
dude, it's sad.
I know everybody be like, yo, you can only really worry about yourself, and that's really all you can do in certain situations. But when you see it around you and you keep a blind eye to it, you feel like you just as much as the cause of the problem as the problem itself. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
not if you're doing legitimate things to say like, well, I'm not that. Like the people that are raising their children right should see that and be like, well, at least I'm not like that. At least I'm, you know what I'm saying? At least I don't hang around with people like that.
But the problem is that it's affecting everyone because when you have kids and they grow up and go out into the world, they're going to interact with the kids that don't know how to act, and some kids are easily influenced no matter what you teach them when they're growing up until they learn how to have their own mind. Some people never always remain followers. Like they don't get out of that. So if these kids are being raised better, then you have you would have to go to an area where there are a bigger amount of, or like a more affluent neighborhood where people don't typically people behave in a different way. There's more opportunities, but that's another thing. If you're a parent, you should be. It doesn't happen like that all the time. Things happen, but you should be in a have a good financial status so that you can provide for your children, so that they can have those opportunities and because most of the time this happens and they're influenced because of the environment that they live in. You weren't, because that's what you could afford, because you weren't prepared to be a parent. It just happened. But when you prepare for it, you save up money and then you buy a house, or it doesn't even have to be a house. It can be an apartment, but it could be in a decent neighborhood where there's not people shooting at each other and stuff like that. They have you can teach them morals and values, to teach them responsibility, give them an allowance, make them do chores to earn it, or things like that. Teach them how to save money, teach them how, and the kids that they go to school with are not going to be walking around with guns and things like that, or
so is the
or
solution?
they're not going to be.
Is the solution, in your opinion, relocation, or
It's
is the
both.
solution just changing your mindset?
It's both. You need to.
You have to
some
relocate.
of these parents, like these people, need to reevaluate get their mind right before they decide to have children.
Right.
Because they need to be fit. So once we fix that, then you won't continue to keep having people growing up in these effed up situations and shooting each other and going to prison at 13 or dying at 13 or younger than that, like, because it's ridiculous. Like,
One of the
killing
problems
each other.
that they identified was these childs growing up in single parent households.
That's
It's like the majority of the issue.
Again, it's the same thing.
The odds are stacked up against us.
Those are negative.
It's the food we eat. It's the fucking things we watch. Everything. Like, yo, you can't even get a mosquito bite in 2023 and not think that, yo, maybe this shit is a real mosquito and it's putting the fucking jab in me or some shit like that.
Right.
This is 2023 where that shit is possible. Like, you could look up mechanical mosquitoes and see that shit. Like, it's not no fairy tale shit. So at the end of the day, it's like, yo, it's not a possibility that you're just gonna change your environment just because you could change the way you think, and it could spark a change, or people could start seeing you and get motivated by what you do, but you're not gonna change the world by yourself. So like, you can only focus on your surroundings to make any type of change. And if you want to make that change, you can't do it by yourself. You have to do it with
That's why we have these discussions. Why I said people need to be mindful, one, with who they have children with, because
100%.
that's, if you don't know if it's gonna last. Like, if I
But
feel
that
like
gotta be
if
taught,
the
yeah.
selection process was better,
That gotta
then
be taught.
we'll have
Financial
longer
literacy
lasting
gotta be
relationships.
taught. Relationship help has to be taught. It's
Because
not
the
taught.
parents don't know it, and they're having
Niggas
kids.
Information is available.
Niggas
Yeah,
teaching
now,
social
like
studies,
you said,
bro.
2023, they can look up anything.
Listen to what I'm saying to you though. Like, it's 2023 and they're still teaching social studies and shit. Social studies and shit. Social studies and shit.
What are these parents doing in the
Social
house?
studies and
Are
shit.
they encouraging
Come on,
their
man.
kids to try to learn more? If you don't got the means to do better, then we gonna have some books. We gonna have a library. You're gonna be reading for at least 4 hours a day or something while you sitting here. You're not gonna be just doing nothing. You're gonna learn how to do something.
The education system is not for geniuses or better world peace. It's for workers and slaves.
Right.
So if you want a good education, that's why you have to pay for the extra shit, because the free shit is, nigga, we'll teach you how to be a worker or a slave, right? So what I'm saying is, this shit isn't gonna get better, especially for our people, because that's the system that they have in place for their people too.
On Joe Budden's podcast, they were talking about, one of them said their kid is going to a special type of school, like for yeah, but they were just talking about the experience, like, cause yeah, they're paying for it, they have.
You got to.
But they were like, it's a school like for kids that are like, they learn differently. They're so like, when you're a certain age, they put you in a grade with your peers, like the other kids your age, but everybody's not on the same level. Everybody doesn't read on the same level. And they only focus on the kids that are struggling and not the ones that are like, oh, I finished my work. It's a blur. I just breeze through
So
it, and I'm
everybody
just
catches
sitting
up.
here, and now I'm the class clown, and I'm bored because I don't finish my work. So this is a school for people with different type of learning styles, and they don't put you in a class with everyone just because you're the same age. They figure out the way that you learn, and they let you learn at your own pace based off how you do. So like, that's a good idea, because a lot of kids, and that's what he was saying, the person, whoever, I don't remember who it wasn't Joe, but somebody on the podcast their kid, they were like, when they were in school, well, no, it wasn't the person who said their kid, it was the light skinned, it was named Ish. Yeah, he was like, when he went to school, he would finish his work and he would be bored and he would get in trouble or whatever and stuff like that, and I would do that too, and I know you did that too, and he also had an opportunity to be pushed to the next grade. I need to stop smoking sometimes if you make me.
I'm about to quit. Well, not quit. I'm gonna slow down.
He was gonna get, what is it called when they go to the next, like, he was gonna get skipped, yeah. They said to his mom, like, he's reading at this grade level or whatever, you want to skip him, and then she talked, and she said no, that she didn't want to do it because she didn't want him, because on the other side of things, that what they were talking about made sense, because they were like, say if you did get skipped, you're gonna be in a grade with kids that are way older than you, like it was at least like 4 grades up. Yeah, your friends that you still gonna want, your maturity is still on the same level. You're just mentally, like, you're learning or whatever. It's different.
She made the right decision.
So,
not every kid, just because you're smarter, not every kid should be skipped.
But I think by not putting them in so it's like you're holding them back because
not challenging.
Yeah, because it's too easy. So you're only focusing on, and they don't even do that. They skip the other kids to the 9th grade too, because there was another teacher that was like, this is not on the job, but there was a clip I seen. She was like, she's a teacher, and she was like, a lot of these kids are not reading on the grade level that they should be reading on, and they just
skip them through
to the next grade.
How many kids graduated and dumb as the bag of
But
bricks?
also, I think they focus on the kids that they have special classes and stuff for kids that have issues learning, or they're not at their level. They do have those out there, those options out there. But now they do have option for someone that's learning at an accelerated level. Like, you get to go to school with all your peers, but you just learn how it works for you and what's comfortable for you.
Girl
so you're not
graduated
from
med school or something at like 15 or something, right? That was crazy. And she was black.
Yeah, I've seen a few people over the last couple of years. They weren't all black, but yeah, I've seen that one too. But they were like, over the last few years, I've been seeing sporadically, like, people,
I
like teenage people graduating from college.
I'm not never gonna try to stop my kid.
Like 19 and she graduated UNH.
That's dope.
I was like, yo, for forensic science.
That's good. So she can be working with the cops, solving crime. Joe Budden said because when Ish said that, he was like, he could have got skipped, but he didn't either. So then he called his mom, and then while they were on the podcast, he was like, "Mom, remember when I was gonna get skipped, but then I didn't? What happened? Whatever. I guess he didn't know the whole story." He was like, "Oh, I was gonna I talked about it with your grandmother, and she was like, no, don't do it, because she did it with all the other kids, her son and the one before that, and it ruined their life because they got skipped." And I guess, like what I was gonna say, like, you could be put in a grade with kids older than you. They might pick on you. I've seen it on like TV shows and stuff, because kids pick on you for anything. So that could be something you could get bullied for, and they're bigger than you or whatever. So it's not gonna be a fun experience, which school is not supposed to be fun. But I mean, at least when you have your peers with you in a class with you, it's tolerable. So you could get through the day, but that's something that's making it harder or whatever. They might not be able to hang out with your friends or whatever after school because you have different type of homework that you got to do, and you got like different obligations or whatever. It kind of makes you grow up quicker than you should, because if you do finish and graduate and go to college, then it's like, I don't know. I think it's subjective, though. I don't think in every case it could be bad. I would put my kid in the school like that. If I didn't homeschool them, I would put them in the school like what they saying, like where you could learn at your level regardless of what your age is. And I would allow them if they were able to go to college early. My kid's gonna, if I have kids, they're gonna be fluent in like at least 3 languages.
That's good.
That's dope. That's gonna set them ahead of the curve.
Yeah, you could get
early.
better work. I mean, well, ideally, I would want them to work for themselves, but maybe in the beginning, they may have. But you can get that's good. You could get paid more money just from being bilingual, trilingual.
Right. True story. I be meeting young brothers out here that's making moves in the right direction. Like I met this at the hookah lounge yesterday, matter of fact. I met this young boy, 21 years old. He got his own business. He do mobile detailing. Right. And I'm like, oh shit, you get into it. He's like, yeah, man, I'm trying to make this money. I want to start my own business doing this, like, full time. I'm like, yo, you doing it. Like, just keep at it. It's all how you grow up. Like, when you grow up in a single parent household, like a lot of times, people don't realize it, but like the struggle that those kids have versus the kids that have both parents is a little bit different. Like I know kids that have 2 parents and they spoil fucking brats. You know what I mean? They get double presents. They get, you know what I mean? Because parents are trying to compete with each other in the same fucking house, crazy shit. You know what I mean? But in some houses, there's structure. The father is the father, the mother is the mother. And, you can tell that there's a control dynamic here. Like, she supports what he does and he supports what she does. And that's how it works as a team. But a lot of that shit, growing up with like the single parent, there's always arguments. You know what I mean? Even if they're co-parenting. Like sometimes there are disagreements and the kids are present when these disagreements happen sometimes, you know what I mean? They don't need to be seeing this, famous words of Doughboy from Boys in the Hood. I love that movie. You know what I mean? The kid don't need to be seeing that shit. You know what I mean? And the kid don't need to hear that dad is bad. The kid don't need to hear that mom always talking shit. They don't need to hear any of that. What they need to do is focus on what they should be focusing on. The parents need to be more involved in their child's life to know what's on their phone, what they're looking at, who their friends are, who their friends' parents are. And when they come home, checking their homework to make sure their homework is right. You don't understand it? Google that shit. Like now there's no excuse.
But I disagree though, because say I'm the parent that wants this to be the reality, check the backpack and check the devices, but then when she goes home to her mom don't check the devices. So at that point, my daughter does need to hear me doing some type of course of correction for that, because that's my job. I'm supposed to be the enforcer, so I have to make sure if mommy's wilding, then we have to have that conversation. Mommy not gonna take it light, so she's gonna be arguing. So I can't say that conversation.
It's not easy, but it has to happen.
That's what I'm saying. And my daughter has to see that, because if my daughter doesn't see that, now she thinks that I could talk however I want, because I never saw my dad and my mom get in arguments. So obviously my mom's always right. Fuck that, nigga. There has to be some times where you show like, yo, I'm not gonna stand for this, and even if you see it, you need to understand that as a man, you can't stand for certain things that mommy doing. If mommy is wrong, then somebody has to say mommy is wrong.
So let me ask you something. When you say that and then y'all get into arguments, you don't agree with your whatever you said, and then you go and you get into an argument, do she change? Or because she's not your child? Not saying that whatever, it might be a good thing that whatever you're telling her you don't agree with, but she some women,
Let me
it
tell you
ain't
why.
that simple.
Let
So
me
you're
tell you
gonna be
why.
arguing all the time. So is that
Let me
the
tell you why.
answer? Because they not gonna look at it that
The
way. They're
an-
just gonna look at it like,
The
oh, you're
answer,
arguing.
the answer is
and it's a
realistically,
toxic
the answer is
for a kid.
realistically, the answer is realistically, kids don't hear the explicits or the detailed versions of why certain people are arguing. People are just arguing and they just go about their business. I've never been that type of person. If I'm arguing with my kid's mom, I'm gonna explain to my kid every time, this is what we was arguing about, this is my stance, this is her stance. You get to pick, and you can ask Bree if you think I'm fooling, you get to pick who you felt like was justified or who you felt like was right. But this is where I'm coming from, and this is where she's coming from.
Yeah,
what
she's
makes
old
sense
enough
to you?
Understand, if you have, you
Not
can have
even
a
just that. She's
conversation.
not even that. Just that she's old enough to understand. I need her to be accustomed to a dynamic of this is why we're arguing, and this is why I'm going so hard on what I believe, and this is what she believes. So you have to make your own decisions in life. So you need that practice. If you don't get that practice, you're gonna get in these situations and not know what the fuck to do.
But see now with what you said, because I can't disagree with what he's saying, because that's a personal situation. So I agree with what you're saying. But let's give another dynamic. You're in the household. You guys are together. You're a nuclear family. You can't behave that way. You can't. You guys are together. Right. You guys are in the same household, and you guys have to. There has to be understanding where she respects your authority enough in a calm manner to be like, 100%. You know what, I'm not gonna go against that. Dad is right.
100%.
You know what I mean?
But there's still,
and it has to be like that.
Let's say on the flip side though, there's still arguments in the family that the child has to see.
They don't.
Yes,
they don't.
I can only speak from my experience, bro.
But that's
hold on. Let me say this. Let me say this.
What I'm talking about.
Hold on. Let me finish before I forget my thought. Hold on.
Go ahead.
So in the family dynamic, right? It's usually supposed to be my dad is the enforcer, so he's supposed to be right overall, right? And my mom has showed me personally that even if it's not logical, even if it's not right, if she feels a way, she's gonna stick to how she feels. And I never got that growing up. I used to see that as like, Ma, like, what are you doing? Like, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I got it as an early age. Like, we're supposed to just follow dad. So why are you making it difficult? But she's still ruled by her feelings. So at the end of the day, you'll see certain situations where he has to talk to her to make it make sense. And she has to be like, well, she doesn't have to. She chooses to be on the defensive, even if he's right. Right? So sometimes I don't want to hear it, so I'm just not going to argue about it. And you see those defeats too. Those are necessary, Smiley, because if I don't see that, then I don't think that's a possibility. I think that all the time the father has all the say, and you see what I'm saying? You have to see both sides of the spectrum, bro. It's necessary.
The only way the father has all to say is if the father is really in that leadership role all the time.
My dad is.
You can't say
you could be defeated and still be in charge
if you're put in that position.
Right.
But if you're in a environment, if they're coming up in an environment where you're in agreement, you don't do that in front of them. You're not.
Right. They only see the agreement.
Yeah. So the only way in your case. In that situation, because y'all don't always get along or y'all don't agree on certain things, y'all ain't together. Y'all gonna
right.
So
but not what I'm
I
talking
agree
about.
with
Right.
you having it because now you're explaining it to her, and sometimes parents should explain. Not even just that, explain things sometimes because it will make sense to if it makes sense to the kid, then they'll take it and be like, okay, that don't make them. They should do what you tell them to do anyway. But it's like if it makes sense, then they're like, okay, this is why I understand now why you.
But I'm not even
why
pointing her
so
which
it'll
direction.
make them more inclined to
She
follow
has
what you're saying if
choice.
it makes sense. the
Yeah,
reasoning
like she
behind
has
it.
the choice to
And
say,
she's
"Oh, I can
old enough
listen to mom,
understand
or I can
when
listen to dad."
I think
I'm
there's-
not gonna validate like which
I think
one.
there has to be
Right,
like
what I'm saying is
some
you wanna
type of
avoid those
tenure
type
of that shit. Right. That's what I'm saying.
Well, in
You
your case,
can't.
you can't, but we're telling the people that
I'm still firm with whether you're together or not.
You
I
should
feel
be
like
able to,
somebody should be the voice of reason and be like not in front of the kid. You know what I mean? And sometimes tempers flaring, emotions going and shit like that. You could tell who's raised by their mom. I'd be like, yo, like nigga,
It
I'm
depends
not
on what
about
the
to do this in front of the
conversation's
kid. I'm gonna let you look bad in front of the kid.
It depends on what
and
the
then I'll
conversation's
explain
about.
that later. But I'm not having that discussion in front of my kid because it's how traumatic it was for me growing up. I don't want my kid to have to go
some
through
kids
that.
will be like, "Mom, your daddy, stop yelling."
Yeah, right.
They
That's
don't-
what
they
I'm
don't
saying. Like,
that, 'cause
it's
they don't know what you're talking about, but they feel
They
that
feel the
energy,
energy,
and
yeah,
they don't.
I think it's a time. I
Don't want
think
you to
there's
be
times to
happy.
have the talks. You know what I mean? And I think like as younger parents, we kind of rush that shit because we just doing it. We just going with the flow. Like now I'm an adult. You can't tell me what to do and I know what to do. So a lot of times we make poor decisions because we just think that it's the right decision. People that don't have children, a lot of times they don't know what the fuck to do because they ain't got no kids, right? But they were kids once. And if you grew up and you're an adult and you don't have kids, the reason that a lot of people don't have kids, some of them, is because they see how other people's relationship are with their children. They be like, damn, I don't want my kid to be like that. You know what I mean? But people that you be around that have a good relationship with their kids and their kids get good grades and their kids they probably do fucked up shit and don't get caught. But these kids to us, they look like they're fucking angels. Like, you know what I mean? And they're doing the best.
And if they do,
you know what I
that's
mean?
not
Go
to
to
the
school,
level.
go to college, all of this other shit, don't have babies. Those to me are good fucking kids because I knew motherfuckers having kids at 14, 15, 16, all the ages, my nigga. You know what I mean? And I think that it's because the parents weren't engaged enough. They was too consumed with their feelings or how they're gonna feel about it and not worrying about that child. That child didn't ask to be here. So you need to have more compassion and more understanding for that kid. And give that kid the attention they deserve. Fuck what y'all going through. The kid don't need to know about what's going on. The kid don't need to see this shit. That's how I feel.
I definitely think that if you're acting, when you have discussions or arguments, if it's like you're not, I encountered one of your interactions when it wasn't, so based off of that, it'd be a little heated, I see. So like, I feel like that could be, it may not be, if you're saying you shouldn't be acting like this, the way she doing this or whatever, because y'all yelling at each other, they could also see that because they're being exposed to that and be like,
Could see it mean I lost control.
or they
see
think
it as a
that
mean I lost control.
they can talk to,
Y'all
that they
had a
should talk to
conversation. I told y'all,
that
I'm
they
having a
should talk to
conversation
their
every
man
time.
like that, or yell at them and not respect them.
Specifically, she understood that Mom Dukes was arguing. She was the one who told, "Oh, that's just Erika. That's Smiley's sister."
But it's okay.
Hold on.
Why?
That's just Erika. That's Smiley's sister. So she knew Mommy was wilding already. That's why you were yelling like that, because of Erika. Like, that's just Erika. That's Smiley's sister. So now when Mommy hears, "Oh, that's just Erika. That's Smiley's sister," I don't get an apology. I don't get, "Oh, I didn't know who it was." I just get, "Oh, okay. Hey, you gonna pick up your daughter?"
But
It's not fair.
I
I understand.
It like cause I know is heavy is the head that wears the crown. When you the man, you gotta carry yourself a certain way. Certain shit that we be like, fuck that shit. I'm gonna do it. But you gotta practice self-control. It keeps us tame. It keeps us out of prison. It keeps us from making bad decisions. And I see all these poor young men that make these bad decisions from not being able to control their actions.
She can see that, be like, oh.
I mean, and it's good when the child can recognize
super smart
what's going on, what's wrong. You know what I mean? But sometimes I feel like it happens too fast. Like these kids talking about they want to hear "Sexy Red." Like that's crazy. I would never want my child to be in it, and I feel
Bro,
like
you can't help it. Like bring those
stuff is
Ice
gonna
Spice
be out
lyrics.
there. Stuff is gonna be out there.
Bro, you
But
know
now,
Ice Spice lyrics.
that's when you have the conversation.
I don't
Do not
play the
listen to
radio.
this. I don't. If I hear that,
If I
hear that you playing this, then I'm not gonna give you allowance anymore because I don't want you playing.
It wasn't Ice Spice.
If I find out that you're playing this, you're not gonna get allowance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Straight like that. I'm taking. Oh, you like that phone that I got you? Guess what? I'm taking that phone. And then your mother gonna be like, why you take that phone from her? Oh, is it playing Ice Spice? All the kids like, no, it's not for kids.
Yeah.
She's not getting the phone. If you want to get her a phone, then you do it. And she'll understand. She might be mad at me for a few years, but she'll understand.
I respect that.
You know what I mean?
I was telling her,
just pray you in the house, nigga.
So you gonna be the worst father in the world.
I swear to God, bro, pray you in the house.
An Uber driver told me a worst father in the world story. I'm listening to her side of the story, and she's listening to my side of the story. So we're going to the bat. I'm going to my job for the batting cages, and I just so happen to, I'm a 5-star Uber passenger. You know what I mean? So I'm in there and I'm having a conversation with the driver, and she's telling me, she's like, oh, and I know that she's a single mom. They're separated. And she's saying like the kid, oh yeah, my kid got got a phone, and the father's like, oh, like, get this one. It's 20% cheaper, and just pay me 80 instead of paying what you're paying right now. And then she like, I might as well just keep it up. I'm like, shit, you taking $20 off? You can just give him the money. Yeah, well, I'm helping him. I'm not helping me. I still got to pay this bill. It would be better if he just paid the bill himself, paid the whole bill. But I still got to give the kids, so they're going to have to wait. Why you put that on me? Why you couldn't just pay for it? And I'm just in there listening. I'm like, yeah, you're right. But she's not. Because you already paying their bill. He's giving you an opportunity to get a reduced bill. And pay it.
She's just mad that he don't pay it all.
You don't want to pay him.
That's ungrateful.
Oh, what is he giving her money to pay something?
No. She pays $100-something.
She needs it, period.
A month.
Right?
He's
already
getting it reduced, but saying, yo, give it to me, and they can get this phone off of my plan, but just give me the 80 instead of having to pay 100 for it. She's like, I'm just gonna do it when I get the money, and I just pay it. I might as well just do it myself. Why I gotta, but he's giving her.
Is this her man? What is it?
It's the baby father. So
she wants him
because the kid wants the phone. So she's like, all right, I'm gonna get the phone, but I can't get the phone right now, and now she's got to have the conversation with the kids saying, well, I'm not getting the phone because I'm not paying that right now. I got other stuff I got to pay for or whatever. And if he want to do it, why don't he just pay for the phone instead of me paying him? Why am I paying him for the phone?
It could go half on the phone.
They could do whatever. They could come up to an agreement.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
but it sounds like she's just not gonna. No, you don't. No, I'll pay the whole thing.
She'd rather pay that. But that's, come on, man. Yeah. I mean,
they go wait.
They could work together, man. Like it goes back to what he was saying, yo. You gotta take care of who the fuck or like who you want to be. That's just crazy, yo.
Go ahead.
So I don't understand why. I think a lot of women don't take this into consideration. Well, I've never been married or whatever, but when a, well, I don't know, married or if you got kids, whatever, because child support and stuff. When you leave that relationship, it's usually not in favor of the man. They have to go. Y'all are living in the same house together, so now they have to go start all over, and the average income is like max $50,000 a year. It varies based on state, but like that's the average, give or take, or whatever, a couple thousand. $50,000 a year, and you have when a man leaves a relationship or leaves a marriage and he has children, he has to go find his own place again because he's usually the woman stays in the house if they don't sell it and split the money or whatever. The woman stays in the house with the kids, so she got a house that he's probably still gonna have to help her with that. She's gonna put him on child support 9 times out of 10.
That was our first client.
And then so he's only, and if he's an average earning man or whatever, then it's like he that's a struggle. He's got to take care of your household and his. Y'all don't even live or that's what they be expecting, which I think is ridiculous. Like if two people are no longer together and have a child, both people should be contributing. I think if you have a place, y'all both should have a space for the child, extra room or whatever. Y'all both, whatever you could have. I got clothes over here for her, or you should do 50-50 or come up with some type of agreement. But I don't think a man should be expected to pay your rent too because y'all have kids. Like I've heard some women or they be expecting that or whatever.
What if he got the bread too?
They most of the time they don't be getting.
I'm saying in your opinion, do you think if the man has enough money to
some
pay,
men do that? There's Country Wayne. He has like 10 kids, and he said, and he's rich now. He's a comedian or whatever, and he has a house. He said he has rooms for all his kids, so they all come. But he had 10 kids before he started making that money, but he always took care. At first, his baby moms didn't get along. He's not with any of them, but now most of them get along with each other, and all the kids know each other. And yeah, he has a house. I think that's what Nick Cannon should do, so you can ensure that you're spending enough time. If you're gonna do some, I just think that's ridiculous that you have that many kids and they're by all different women. But if you're gonna do that, I think you should have a home so that the kids can all come over, so you can spend time with them. Because yeah, you're taking care of them financially, but you can't split yourself into, and they're all in different places or whatever. Like every weekend or whenever you should gather them all up together and have them stay at your house for the weekend or whatever arrangement that you have, so you can make sure they're all getting to know each other and stuff like that. But ideally, I don't think that one person should be having that many kids by all these different people. I mean, it's ridiculous.
I think
you should try to at least try. Like y'all are not even trying to like. These people like Nick Cannon and stuff like that, like you're just having babies, like you have no intention on staying with any of these people. And it's like, just because you can financially provide, money doesn't fix everything. Money doesn't make you whatever. Like, and a lot of kids come out and make, people don't understand, like, oh, but he did this, he put you, but yeah, but you weren't here. Like, just like if you were
so what about Akon and like a polygamous household? Let's say Akon has 17 kids, but it's all under one house. Do you think that's cool, or do you think that's kind of wild too?
If that's the only thing, I wouldn't be involved in that. But I mean, if people do it for help sometimes, the extra income, if the other person works, if all 3 people are working, it's like this economy, like it's crazy.
I want to stay with my baby mother.
Yeah, as you should. You should try. But sometimes you don't.
That's what I'm saying. If you like deliberately just keep having kids and you just a bunch of different women that had all them kids.
Well, look at women like Lori Harvey. You got women that they be dropping dudes. Like, dude might be happy with you or whatever, but something that he don't do, then he just don't make it.
I feel like we're gonna find something out about Lori Harvey later on in life. Oh,
I think she's like someone that they use to like, oh, I have a new album coming out, or this new movie's coming out, or whatever. Like, she dates them because people, once you start talking about them, it doesn't matter what it is, negative or positive, then you're gonna be like, oh, let me go download, let me go watch this movie, especially if you like.
She a clout booster.
Yeah, they do stuff like that. Because
she's gonna have to write a book, it's like, and then when she writes the book, she's gonna have somebody. She's gonna have somebody sympathize. How do we even know that anything's going on? We've seen them. They said they were dating.
Because people be talking about her.
Yeah, I mean, because
They might.
seen
They,
them
you
with.
think they lying?
Shit could be a lifetime
We've
movie.
seen them with
She
the
could be
people,
like,
but
yo, I have an
we don't
alter
know
ego.
the extent.
What if she
of
said
what went
Future
on.
made songs about him smashing.
What if she said she had an alter ego and her alter ego is promiscuous, but she's not, and that's why she, whenever she snaps out of it, like she breaks up with the dude,
like Jekyll.
Yeah, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, yo. What if she really had that? Would you feel bad for her if she really said, yo, like, I'm definitely schizophrenic?
Bad for her for
if she said she was schizophrenic and she would like she really was two different people.
Bipolar.
So her personality dated Michael B. Jordan. Her personality dated the nigga from Snowfall. Her personality dated Diddy and shit. You know what I mean? And his son.
She thought she was the movie character.
But when she would snap out of it,
she's a method.
She would snap out of it and be like, "Oh shit, I'm like, I don't like these people."
She
like,
don't even remember.
Don't even remember it. She's like,
Butterfly
what?
effect.
You know what I mean? Would you feel bad, or would you just like, nah, this bitch lying?
I mean, if she made that up, then that's dumb. Like you did what you like.
Pull the Justice Smollett.
But if that, I mean, I feel bad for anybody that has mental health issues. That's if they're bipolar, that's mental.
Because it's not, it's really out of their control. Yeah. So you gotta give them grace because it's out of their control. Like it's not. I mean, you still know what they doing is fucked up, but you still gotta be like, damn, but they can't. They can't control it.
A lot of these people in the industry are, I don't know. I wouldn't say I'm not a psychologist or a psychiatrist. I can't diagnose anyone for mental illness, but I feel like a lot of them, like I feel like Krishan, like she needs, I don't know, something. She needs help.
Guidance.
Like she's always crying. She's so, but she seems like a cool person. She relaxed and stay calm or whatever. Like
the good people.
Yeah, and she's and I be feeling bad, like she be crying sometime, and it's like she be crying, like she be like bawling out crying, like, and it's like a lot, and I'm like, she's just hurt, like she needs.
It's men too. It's men too.
That's
Draymond Green. Draymond Green out here wilding.
What he did?
Oh my God.
But wait, let me finish.
He's taking out a different emotion.
She was on what's that guy? Cam Newton.
Yo, that shit was crazy.
She choked that nigga for
Rudy
a minute.
Gobert, yo, the dude, I don't know, like, finish what you were saying. I'm gonna tell you about that story. Finish what you were saying.
Cam Newton has a podcast.
I seen him.
And Krishan was up there. And
she looked so happy to be there.
Yeah, and he was so, and he made her feel kind of like, are you okay, comfortable? Because I know you said before, you know, like it's, you know, if you don't want to talk about something, let me know. I'm not messy like them other podcasts and stuff. I want to get to know the real you, not Rock. I want to know Yagina. Her middle name is Yagina. He was like, I want to get to know Yagina. And she was like in good spirits and stuff, and she wasn't all, she was drunk, and she did a little too much. When she was like, she asked him.
She liked them.
Yeah, because she was asking him leading questions. She was like, I don't know what she said, but it's like basically she tried to find out if he cheat or something. Like she trying to, because he was kind of flirting a little bit. Not really, but it's like his energy. He's attractive.
What did he say? What did he say?
He was doing an interview, but like he told her, he complimented her. He was like,
he just was being a super gentleman, and she was super receptive.
He said no, he don't cheat.
I don't think that's not specifically what she asked him, but it seemed like that's what she was getting at. Like she was trying to see. She was like, oh, good. And every question she asked him, he was like, is Jessica or whatever her name is. He just kept saying his wife or his, you know, that's the answer. She was like, good answer. She was like, I'm happy for y'all. And then but she asked him, she was like, do you like squirters or creamers? And I'm like, they didn't say, he was being professional. They didn't say talk about nothing about sex or nothing. I mean, they were cursing and stuff and stuff.
Still
like
ignorant.
But yeah, but it was just out the blue. Like,
Still
why
ignorant.
would you just say that, and I'm like, and she was drunk because she was
think
drinking.
niggas like that shit. That's why she said that.
Yeah, and he was. You could tell he was
Blueface
taking.
wouldn't like that shit.
You could tell he was taking her back. Like, cause he answered her, but he was, and she was like, and you can't say, he was about to say something, and she was like, and you can't say both. And then I'm like, what the, like, why would you act like that's so tacky? And y'all wasn't.
You know she got tape on.
Going that, yeah, when she put out her.
She's a creamer.
Yeah, and then he said, and then she was like, good answer, or whatever, and I'm like, yo.
That's the flirtation vibes, see? See, they knew what they was doing. Yo, Kim got in trouble.
He was like, you a hell of a woman.
Kim got in trouble.
Like, she kept giggling the whole time. She was so cheesy. Like, she was loving him. She probably would do something with him. Like, but she was like, you remind me of Blue. That was what she said. She was like, he was like, nah, we are not the same. He was like, I fuck with Blue though, but we not the same.
She talked about probably his cadence.
Yeah, because he is like he's attractive. He's confident. He was giving her confidence, but professionally, she's an attractive woman. Like that's basically what he's like. Because he like basically was trying to say, you be out here wilding, like you're too cute to be acting like that. Yeah. Like talk to me. Like what's going on? Let me know. And then she talk about her life or whatever. But like. I just be feeling bad for her. Like, I remember on that show, Crazy. I feel bad for both of them because I think Blue have issues too. His mom's is bugged out.
Oh,
she just did an interview telling her life, and this is why. And they, both of their family situations is like, you see why they act like that. And I don't even remember what I was going to say, but. She on the show that they had, she was crying. She was like, I don't want to be famous no more. She was outside by the pool. She just went under the water and she was like screaming, crying, just crying. Like, and the dog was like, and her sisters were there and they were like, this was when she was pregnant and she was saying they had gotten into it. She didn't want to have it anymore, but they were like,
this before she had a baby.
Yeah, and she was like, we're not together, whatever. Like I don't want to. And then I think they said she was too far along when she. But they had agreed to do it beforehand, but then they got into it and stopped talking. So that's how she was feeling that day. And
that's her first kid.
Yeah, she's mentioned that she has had multiple abortions.
Of course she did.
So she was like, she was crying and stuff, and I just felt bad because I'm like, she needs help. Like nobody should be crying like that. Like and people be like,
that kid need help too.
Like that's what I'm saying. They shouldn't have had she shouldn't have. I mean, but it shouldn't even be an abortion. Like stop letting people nut in you, like, or pull out, do something, like, what the fuck, like, just stop. And then she says she might be, again, like, it's just sad, because it's a cycle, just gonna continue, and it's like, she trying, I see her trying to do better, but it's like, she putting yourself, you keep putting yourself back in that position, she's not gonna stop messing with him.
Exactly.
She's like, I love that. Exactly. Whatever, but
that's why I'm like, she made that bad. She gonna sleep in that shit, and you could feel bad for her, but she's not gonna change. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, and even if somebody like Cam Newton were to come along, she could flirt with a nigga. She might even get the, you know what I mean, the drawers, but he's not staying. He's not staying. He knows how you are. He sees how you act. He sees what you prefer. What you know what I mean? Like and that has to be.
He don't like that. He was like, no,
and I didn't even see that shit.
And he was like, no. He was like, that's what he was like. You're a beautiful woman. Like you are, like you shouldn't be acting like that. That's not. But he let her talk freely and curse and all that. They were both cursing. And she talked like she'd be like nigga to nigga, like saying herself nigga to nigga. Like, how do you feel about this? And, like she just
You're not a nigga.
Like, and she be like, I'm the type of bitch, and blah blah blah. She's like, oh, and he's like, nah, like he let her be wild. He's like, I want you to be comfortable. So go, like, he wasn't judging her or nothing, but he already said how he felt about that in the beginning.
He did that for the interview. You tweaking. Like, just remember your son is gonna watch this.
She was wildin'.
Just remember your son is gonna watch this.
I mean, it's
so if anybody
call
call you a bitch in pre-K or kindergarten or school, he can't say nothing or do nothing about it because you say you was a bitch on these cameras. So he should just be like, okay, yeah, my mom is a bitch, and that's your fault. Just by that, like and I know Kim knew that, but he didn't want to say that to, you know what I mean, offend her and shit, because he probably have a lot to say.
That's like the best interview she didn't say that
opened up,
sexual shit.
Yeah.
Like, then it would have been good, that kind. But she was like still being her, but she was more relaxed and more calm. It wasn't being, you know.
Yo, I haven't seen her type of success pattern since Cardi B.
Yeah, but I think it's different. Like, I don't know. Cardi B has a little more, like, I like some of Krishan's songs, but I don't think that's the same. And she was doing music before she went on Love and Hip Hop. She had like mixtapes out while she was a stripper. But Cardi B. But I don't think that was what she intended to do from the beginning. She probably never planned to do music, or I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. But I think because she was on another show before she was an athlete. She went to college. She won some competition first. That was the first TV show she was on. Then she went on a Blue Girls Club. So I think she just wanted to be an actress.
She just wanted to be famous. And I felt like Cardi wanted to be famous too. Like, they just, they was gonna be famous. You know who really, really wanted to be famous and it said this shit to a specific artist? Amber Rose, yo. I think Amber Rose is like, yo, I may not rap, I may not sing, I may not dance.
Kardashian.
I may not, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, but I have a lane as long as I look good. If I look good, I'm gonna have a lane. And I never look down on that, because she look where she at. She's a millionaire from just that, bro.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And you can't even say she took the camera out because Kim got a sex tape. And you know, sex tape with what's her name? She might have a OnlyFans. All the famous people now have OnlyFans. It's wild. I finally saw the Sugiyana joint. I was like, wow. She don't look the same without like the makeup.
She definitely doesn't. But I think most of them don't. Like, they put all that, and then when you take just the hair alone, when they take that off, they look different. And then the makeup is just another layer. Cause
she out there making her money. I'm not mad at her though. I'm just saying that, if you have kids, just know that your kids don't see this shit.
She got a lot of kids.
Your kids is gonna have to deal.
They don't care. These people don't.
She seemed like she cared though, because she cried on video talking about she sold her soul or some shit like that.
Now that was old, but then
I believe that shit.
She's be like, I don't give a. I'm just going to be me, and I'm just ghetto, and that's literally like what she be saying. Like,
so she went from like
she said, I be trying to
spiritual
change, but
awakening.
people tell me that I need to just be myself, so I'm gonna be myself. Like, she be like, I like this hug dick, and that's like, she be saying wild shit. Like, it's like, what? It's like you and like, I don't know. She's just it is. I understand what that teacher was saying, but what were you saying about the basketball?
A lot. Yeah, Draymond Green, the power forward for Golden State Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
He always getting him some shit, and he too old for that shit. Like, he like damn near 40 years old, and he out here, you know, he putting people in headlocks and stuff. You know what I mean? And he's supposed to be like,
And he
Who he put in a headlock?
he just got
another
he
basketball
just
player.
got suspended. He just got suspended.
Rudy
prior to
Gobert.
this.
Oh, I don't know him. I know Draymond Green.
Yeah, Rudy
He
Gobert.
just got
He's
suspended.
Casino.
It did.
Minnesota, I think now. Yeah,
Timberwolves.
Minnesota Timberwolves. Yeah, and Ja Morant. No, well, it's not the same team. So.
Nah, he got aggressive.
But yeah, that shit was crazy though.
He don't want to play. He want to fight.
That's the
not crazy
team
to
with
me.
what's his name on it, like the
He do
Splash
not want to
Brothers.
play. He want to fight. Yeah.
Yeah,
Curry,
yeah.
man.
I
Curry.
need a game.
I was gonna get it when this game came out, new Spider-Man game, but
Spider-Man. Oh, I heard that shit was good though.
might get it for Christmas.
I heard that shit was good, bro. They had both of the Spider-Mans in there.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, that's kind of dope.
yeah.
Oh, y'all heard about Party? This song against Megan. It's pretty decent. I ain't gonna hold you.
Who?
Party Fantine.
Oh,
Oh,
he
like
made
against
he ain't
who?
messing with her no more. He made a diss song.
He made it. It's like it's light, but it's
Who
not
was
like
it against? Cardi B.
Megan Thee Stallion
Megan.
because they broke up and shit.
Oh, she was dating him.
Yeah, she was dating Party while the
Yeah,
allegations were going down.
Oh, that's who she was with.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
know
play
she
that,
was
play
dating
that.
him.
And then
Play it
she
on the
said
TV.
that he cheated, made a song. Her new song was dissing him. So he said, "Bitch, I got something for you. This is all I do. I run for Cardi. I'm about to come out." So he came out with a song, and I'm listening to the song. I'm like, "Yo, this is decent." Like, I don't think he's lying.
That's
You
crazy.
should play both. You should play Megan's, and you should play Party's. Oh yeah,
Do
you're
a
gonna
reaction.
yeah.
You want to do a reaction?
We can do a reaction right quick.
Alright. Hey yo, this
I'm
was
be
a,
honest.
this was a good show. Get lifted. 30 is the new 20. It's your boy, Smiley Jizzle, my man's
Chris So Deep,
and our host,
Erika.
and we out here.
Smoke weed every day.
Be on the move like I need a new hobby. Got a 9 to 5.